For the record, the amusement park at the end of the film is not San Francisco's Playland, which is seen at the climax of Orson Welles' The Lady from Shanghai. It was actually Pacific Ocean Park in Santa Monica, a concession to logistics since Playland was not situated on San Francisco's shoreline. Now, watching that prolonged and spectacular climax, you can see director Norman Foster cribbing more than a few stylistic flourishes from Welles, his filmmaking mentor. Foster had begun as an actor in the early 1930s, but he gravitated behind the camera after realizing he'd never emerge from the shadow cast by his more famous wife, actress Claudette Colbert. Theirs was not a happy union, and I suspect Foster supplied his own bitterness to this film's caustic view of marriage. Welles had been impressed by the flair and resourcefulness Foster displayed in several low-budget Mr. Moto movies. In the early 40s, Welles recruited Foster to his loyal cadre of creative talents. It was Foster who directed most of Welles's journey into fear, and Foster also was a key figure in the development of Welles's aborted Latin American project, It's All True. After much pre-production work on that film in Mexico, Foster decided to remain south of the border, where he directed Spanish-language features in the 1940s, and was credited with discovering actor Ricardo Montalban. Over the years, Foster maintained his close relationship with Welles, and he played a key role in Welles's recently restored final film, The Other Side of the Wind. Ann Sheridan had high hopes for this film, not only because she hoped it would rekindle her career post-Warner Brothers, but because she was a silent co-producer who had a financial stake in its success. She agreed to do a barnstorming promotional tour, but the picture got lost amid a torrent of higher-profile movies released at the same time. I suspect it was Sheridan who got Norman Foster the directing gig, since they had neighboring haciendas in Mexico. It's also something of an inside joke that the one-time oomph girl, who routinely had her figure exploited at Warner Brothers in clinging gowns and negligees, spends this entire movie bundled up in the same overcoat. Maybe she was trying to prove that the oomph girl didn't need more than her smart and sassy mouth and that sardonic, slow-eyed gaze to command the screen. The film unfortunately didn't resurrect Sheridan's career, but I am proud to have played a role in resurrecting Woman on the Run and setting the record straight regarding Sheridan's role in its creation. And now I'm proud to be able to admit that when I first uncovered a 35mm print of the film back in 2003, I sort of illegally made a digital copy of the film before sending it back to Universal Pictures. When it was discovered that the dupe negative found at BFI had severe damage to its soundtrack, that digital copy, which I'd had in a safety deposit box for 10 years, suddenly became essential to the film's restoration. And so one of Ann Sheridan's best films was finally resurrected. Let us know what you thought of the film on our Noir Alley Facebook page and Twitter feed. And be here next week when Noir Alley presents another film recently rescued from oblivion, director Joseph Losey's rarely seen 1951 remake of Fritz Lang's classic, M. Until then, see you in the shadows.